The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, traders. Can you hear me and see my screen? If you could, just type yes in the questions, and we'll get started here. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, I see that you responded now. Okay. Just had to get a screen up here as well. So here we go. All right, let's get going. Welcome to the Bookmap Platform Details webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. Risk disclaimer: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. For those of you new here, for more information, go to bookmap.com. And let you know that when you purchase the software, it comes with education. There is an educational course that goes through order flow. And that you can access anytime that you want. Then immediately following this webinar, in about 27 minutes, we're going to go through the advanced order flow analysis webinar. Okay, we go through the material that supports the education. Okay, so the concept here is that you can learn about Bookmap in the education or about the order flow, and then you can see that order flow in the live markets and how we analyze it and anticipate future price movement based on what we see. Okay, so it's a complete package there for the education. Let's see, let's go to bookmap.com here quickly and take a look, scroll through here quickly. As you scroll down, there's an intro video here, very straightforward, a couple minutes long. More information about Bookmap, and then get down to this area here, connectivity. Okay, so I'll define Bookmap, what it is. It is a visualization software financial trading platform. Okay, you'll see other platforms on here as well. All right, now we are not a data provider, we're a platform. Okay, so you will need to provide data for futures and for US equities. So you can see these other platforms like Ninja, TTX Trader Pro, and Interactive Brokers Traders Workstation. Okay, you can connect Bookmap via the API of these three platforms. But we are a platform and we prefer, it's just better to connect directly to the data provider. So CQG, Rhythmic, Gain Capital, IQ Feed, Transact, and then Dev Experts. Okay, so this Dev Experts here, for those of you interested in trading equities, it connects to the NASDAQ Total View and NASDAQ Last Sale. And soon we will also connect to BATS and CTA. Okay, so it's really getting built out here. I can go over the equities if you guys have any questions. It's a great feed, and like you're going to see things that you've never seen in equities before, and it's a huge advantage. I can since I prefaced it that way, let's take a quick look and jump into a few of them here and zoom out. Okay, here's exactly what I mean. Looking at Apple here, look at these areas of very high liquidity. Okay, here at 180, 181, and 182, also this 180.50. The larger players are placing all of their liquidity at these higher levels of liquidity, or these big figures. Okay, and we can see that the market is it trades into these areas. Okay, it's like a magnet for price. Okay, the market needs this liquidity to trade, and it starts to head right to it. Now, at a certain point, if they're going to absorb, you're going to start to see a slowdown, and we're seeing it already here at 182. Okay, we may trade through, and we may come up a little bit more. We have 183 up above here. and we'll see if we get there. We can look at this a little bit later if you want, but VXX in Dev Experts. Okay, let's add that one. All right, JP, give me a moment here and let's let some of that download a bit. Anyway, I just want to show this, like, you know, you're not going to be able to see this on any other platform. No one else is offering, as far as we know, no one else is offering full depth of market. I mean, these are several dollars away from current price, and you're seeing live liquidity. This is all live. You know, this is your depth of market, your dome. You're probably looking at 10 levels of data. Well, this is several, like hundreds of levels of data, and it's live. Okay, it's a great advantage. Anyway, enough on that, and we'll take a look at VXX in a bit, JP. Let's jump back here back into the presentation. All right. All right, this is where you can find Bookmap. All right, so you can subscribe monthly or yearly. There are two different versions, basically digital and global, with some variations with digital plus and global plus. Okay, the digital version here is free. It connects to the GDAX exchange. It is live data, and it's a full working copy of Bookmap. However, you can only access one digital currency at a time. So Bookmap with Bitcoin, US dollar, or whatever it is that you want to look at. You also get one US equity with a delayed feed, but that's it. You can trade from the Bookmap. Oh no, sorry. With the free version, you cannot trade from it. You cannot record your data. You only get the basic education and limited support. The free version is limited in that capacity. The digital plus here is $37 per month, and what you get is full depth of market, same as before. But you can record and replay that data. You can trade from the chart, and you can also access up to 20 instruments of digital currencies. Okay. You also get the advanced education that I mentioned, as well as full support. Okay, the global version, it's all inclusive for futures, US equities, and digital currencies. Okay, it's $49 per month. However, you will need to provide the data for the futures or US equities, and also has that advanced education. Okay, Global Plus is everything in global except for it includes all of these add-on indicators and the ability to trade right from the Bookmap chart. This is a huge advantage. Okay, because you can see the liquidity heat map in front of you, so you can front run high liquidity if you want, hide your stops behind areas of high liquidity as well. All right, and then these proprietary indicators we put together, they look at not only specific phenomena in the order flow, but also the larger players here. Large lot tracker, iceberg detector. We're identifying specific players in the market as well. Okay. All right, that's Bookmap. So follow us here on social media at bookmap_pro. And then you can also subscribe to our YouTube page here. Just go through some of the playlists here, some intro videos here if you click on this playlist. This playlist here is all the features and components, a variety of them. And then these order flow video snippets. This is phenomena that Bookmap uncovers with its visualization. So this is the advantage you're getting with Bookmap. Very concise videos here. These are just kind of the concepts of what we go through in detail in the advanced order flow webinars. Okay. All right, well, let's take a look at Bookmap and start to define this a bit here. What we're looking at in terms of all the data here on the screen. And let's see here. Let's take a look at our VXX for the moment. How does that look? Okay, well, here you go. Yeah, just seeing, yeah, pretty high liquidity. Looks like up here around this 39.44 level, and then down here around this 39.22 level. Okay, up here at 40, obviously, someone's up there at 40 already, and then down here at 39, the figures. You can see them at at the figures. Okay. Anyway, I know you're looking for some volatility there, JP, we can take a look a bit later at it as well. Now, just note here. I mean, what we're looking at here, though, like, I want to describe this. Like, these instruments, each instrument trades differently. Okay, but notice this kind of halo around. Look at how there's the orders here, and kind of maybe four ticks away and on the offer, and then 4 on the bid. Well, this is heavily hedged. I mean, you can just immediately look at the way the liquidity is behaving, and you know that they're hedging, tremendously. Right? Look at this. Right? So you're gonna, once you start to understand what Bookmap is showing you and how to use it, you're gonna see all sorts of stuff and understand like why, what it means, like that is heavily hedged. Well, here it is, like, and you'll see, these movements here, but you're gonna see like both buying and selling very active within this instrument. Okay. Anyway. Let's jump back here, and we'll take a look at the S&P E-mini, and it's just all sorts of speculation and hedging, etc. In this market. Okay, so let me actually hide some of these columns. Okay, and that looks pretty good. Let's format this one. Okay, all right. There are 3 elements in this Bookmap chart. Okay. We're only looking at historical best bid and offer, the volume that traded on that historical best bid and offer with these volume dots, okay, and then the heat map. Okay, this heat map is the liquidity that's in the order book. Okay, that's it. That's all is being displayed here. This is actually more straightforward data than looking at a candlestick chart. A candlestick chart, you're going to have to understand, the concept of a candle and what exactly it is showing you. That alone, right there, is more complex than what Bookmap is showing. And why is that? It's because this data is aggregated within a bar. Okay, and starting to piece together, okay, I understand this is open, high, low, and close of a 5-minute period, and that's it. That's all you get. Basically just 4 data points. There is a tremendous amount of insight that is lost with a candlestick chart. It is opaque to volume. Where did it trade? How much traded? How did it relate to the microstructures that were within this 5-minute period? We have none of that insight here whatsoever. It's because all it did was aggregate within this 5-minute period and plot it, and then that's it. Okay, so what do I mean by microstructure? Let's take a quick look. This is just showing historical best bid and offer within the candlestick chart. Okay, and already I can see like all sorts of microstructural areas here. There's a bigger one here as we went sideways. Okay, the drop actually happened here. Okay, and then we went sideways here. We did not break this low. Right, and then you can see the buyers came in and they lifted the offer up out of this structure here. Okay, and it started to accept above here, and then it completely failed and went to the downside here. Okay, so we want to understand these areas of microstructure. It gives us a lot of insight to what's going on with price. Moreover, we want to understand how the volume relates to that microstructure. We're going to see big green dots pulling the market up out of this area here. Okay, and we're going to see big red dots pulling the market down out or down below this swing here and this whole big structure that we see here. Okay, as you can see, it was tested once, twice, 3 or 4 times here. Okay, at this 29 or 27.99 area. Right, so let's turn on that volume and we'll get that insight here. Okay, and let me bring down the dot size a little bit. Okay, well, here are our big green dots pulling that market up out of this area here. Okay, that's what it looks like. This is something we go through in the educational course. It's in part 1, and it's called an order book sweep. Okay, and there's just more buyers that they're trading through all of the areas of liquidity. Okay, so if for example, let's just zoom in and go through an example here. Okay, this is a book sweep. Okay, now there's some selling in here too, right? So it's not just all buying. So, but a book sweep is mostly buying. What we'll see here in this or book sweep to the upside is you can see that all of these guys came in here, and look at the volume here on the buy side here was, and look at on the sell side here. Okay, and they took all of the liquidity here. There was at that point there was like somewhere around 56 contracts in this area here, and they traded more than that, so it moved price higher. Okay, and then they started trading at this level one tick above. Okay, and they swept that area as well. They took all of the liquidity, and so where does it go after liquidity is taken? It goes to the next level. Okay, and to understand this concept is really important. Okay, this is usually how we break out of ranges. Okay, or break down. Okay, and look at the amount of selling in some of these areas compared to the buying in these areas. Okay, very indicative of a trending market, and that's exactly what it's doing here in this micro trend. All right. So now we understand what we're missing here with the volume and understanding the volume within microstructure. Okay, and this isn't very micro as well. This is pretty big. We're looking at here's about 4 minutes of data, but we even know down here that the buyers are starting to take control. Okay, when we go through this in the advanced order flow webinar. Okay, we get a pullback to where they initiated, and you can see buyers still step in. Okay, so there's buying pressure here. You're not going to see any of that in this candlestick chart whatsoever. Okay, it's not telling us anything. Right, so those are the two elements that we can see here in this Bookmap chart just by looking at volume and microstructure. Okay, and it's already giving us a lot of insight. So let's take off the candlestick chart, and now we're going to put on the heat map. Okay, and what the heat map is showing us here is the areas in the auction where they're bidding and offering. Okay, very important to understand. We want to understand not only the volume, which is reading the tape, but we want to put that together with the auction and see where they're interested in buying and selling. How we usually digest that information is by the DOM, the depth of market. Okay, so let's zoom in here, and here's our DOM, right? So everything to the left of this vertical white line here is all historical. This already happened. Okay, here to the right though is the current best bid and offer right now, and this number is the last traded volume. Okay, then you can see our price ladder here, and then this is our depth of market. These numeric values here, these are contracts. It's liquidity on the offer. Traders that want to sell and provide liquidity with limit orders at these levels. Okay, here they are on the bid. Okay, so now we're looking at the complete auction, and the DOM is it gives us a good insight to the current state of the auction. The problem is that these numbers are always changing. When these numbers change, that data is lost. We don't know what what it was previously, how they behaved previously. Were they front running? Were they getting aggressive in front of it, or were they pulling the liquidity away and adding it above here on the offer? That's showing kind of bullish behavior, or they didn't want to sell at a lower area. So we need to put all those pieces together to really understand the auction. That is very difficult to do looking at a current DOM. Okay, what we do in Bookmap is we take that current data here, these numeric values, and we give them a graphical representation here in this current market window. So areas of high liquidity are painted bright orange. The scale is actually over here. Black is the least amount of liquidity, and all the way up to bright orange is the most liquidity. Okay, so you can see that it's not the highest in the book down here. It's the highest in the current book is down here, the 614 or 22. But there's other areas in here that are higher. They're a little bit more orange in some of these areas here. Okay, so that's what we're looking at in the heat map. Now we take that data though in this current market. Okay, when these numbers change, you'll see the heat map change. Okay, it's changing all the time. But we take the data and then we record it and we plot it on the chart historically. So now I can see how they're behaving at this 94 area. Okay, and look how they're, like, you can see these guys layering in here with high liquidity. These are going to be bigger players, okay? And they're starting to absorb price as it comes down into these areas, or they're transacting, I should say, right? You can see that they're bidding up in some of these areas too, so they're starting to show some interest. Okay, we're still in a downtrend, but the next level of high liquidity is here at 94, and look how they behaved here. We know this. This is just it's a very objective view of the market. As price is coming down, these guys started to pile in and provide more liquidity down here. They want to trade, is what it looks like. And here we come. We're going to get our answer here. Do they want to trade or not? And so far, so good. They're staying in the book. In fact, some guys are starting to front run them and trade in front. Okay, provide liquidity in front. And here's our answer. Okay, did they want to trade or not? Well, let's zoom in and we can look precisely at this. And this is what it looks like when it's real liquidity. Note that the volume that is trading in here. Okay, here they are, like, they're hitting the bid, aggressive market sell orders here, right into this area of high liquidity. Okay, this is real liquidity. Okay, now some of that actually is pulled as well, but you can see that in this area here, out of these, well, let's see how much actually traded. Okay, so about 245 out of 625 traded, and we had more trade here as well. Okay, but they weren't able to sweep the book any lower. So out of these 624 or 29, whatever it was, we can see exactly what traded here, 624. Okay, so there's our answer, right? Look at the price, how it rebounds after that. Okay, and buyers are going to start to step in here. Okay, and where are they going to go? Well, they're going to be targeting other areas of high liquidity, maybe up here around this 96.5 level. Okay, maybe even 97 now. Okay, we might start to see a reversal take place here. We have a double bottom, although we are still in a downtrend. Okay, we made a lower low. Okay, but we're starting to note and understand buyers are coming in. We can see them here. Okay, and they came up to this swing right up here at this 98 area, and they started to fail. Okay, stayed up here for a bit, but then we can just look at it very, very precisely here and understand these little areas here, these little tips of these lower highs. Okay, there's no volume trading up in some of these areas. Okay, it's actually just kind of going sideways. And then, the sellers come in and look, this is where they sweep the book lower below this microstructure, and they are in control now. Okay, and they drove price down into area of high liquidity down here at 94. This is all just factual data. This is what occurred. Okay, it's not an indicator. It's not a derivative of time, price, or volume. So we're noting the behavior of these larger players here, starting to absorb on the way down. They absorbed here at 94 as well. And let's see if we get some exhaustion on that sell side. Okay, and let's see if we, okay, so we're trading lower here, and you can see still, sellers are still in control, and we're still in a downtrend. But I'm waiting for to see like more people bid up in these areas here. This is a possible scenario, and then I'm waiting for them to exhaust out. Okay, and I'm waiting for buyers to come in just like this and lift the market up out of these areas. Okay, so down at this area here at our 93 and a quarter, we can look right at it and we can see that 42 contracts actually traded. All these little dots here, red dots, constitutes 42 contracts. And that is, we just go one tick above here and look at, we see over 1,000 contracts traded. Okay, so it's not complete exhaustion, but it is starting to exhaust out. Okay, buyers are going to note that, and they're going to swing in here, and they're going to start to note how they're already bidding up at higher levels, and note the trades here. Okay, that they're starting to initiate their buying. Okay, let's see if we can get up into 98 now, because that's where the high liquidity is. All right. So anyway, that's reading the order book, reading the tape together, understanding what's going on in this market with how they're performing or behaving in the with their liquidity, and if it's real or not, and then we can note who's in control with the aggressor. Okay, the buying or selling. All right. So that's a little bit of analysis there for you, yeah, let's see if we can get up to at least, yeah, you know, I'm still kind of looking at 98, looks pretty good. I also like this little area here at 97 because this is where we really drop from, you know, is where they sweep the book lower here. Okay, so we need to see price get above that area and ultimately above 99. All right, that's the bigger swing here for this to be a complete reversal. Okay, else we're still in a downtrend. We've got to note that. And it's not until that is starts to break and we see a shift in the order flow. Okay, and we're starting to note it. And the breakdowns, you know, it only broke down a tick or two, and here it just broke down another tick or two. Okay, but buyers are starting to come in some of these areas too. All right. All right, guys. Well, let's leave it at that, and we will continue on in the next webinar if you guys are signed up with Bookmap.